Hi guys, and welcome to my first trimester update with baby number 3. I am so excited to finally be sharing this with you guys. We have known for a long time now, and I'm just super excited to be able to share this with you guys and stop hiding it from you. I feel like I've been hiding it, and it feels good to just be able to let you guys in on it, especially with all the new and exciting things happening in our life other than this, of course. So let me explain what's happening in the back really quick for anyone who's new. My videos are usually a lot more put together in the background than this. However, my husband is in the military. We're currently moving. My movers come in 3 days, so my house is just completely torn apart and wrecked. Some things are gone already, so excuse the background. In future pregnancy updates, it'll be a little bit more put together than this. But I am currently 11 weeks and 5 days, so I'm a few days shy of being 12 weeks. However, I'm trying to pre-film some videos during the move, so you guys can still have some content. So that's why I'm filming this video a day or two early, but I don't think it's really going to change anything. So I'm currently 11 weeks and 5 days. My due date is January 9th. So we're due about a week and a half after Christmas. I'm so excited. I thought for sure that we were going to have a Christmas baby. I didn't want a Christmas baby, but we were right in that time frame where I was like, we could very possibly be having a Christmas baby. But I went in for my first ultrasound and they gave me my due date of January 9th. So we're really excited for that. So me and my husband knew we were going to start trying. We were waiting for a really long time because I knew I wanted to have a third baby. My husband was kind of teetering back and forth on if a third baby was something he wanted to do or he didn't want to do. He comes from a family of 7. He is the 6th of 7 children, so he doesn't like the idea of having a ton of kids, and 2 has always been his number, but I think he really wants to try for a boy. Of course, if this baby is a girl, it is what it is, but he wanted to give it another try to have a little boy, of course, to pass on that family name. So he ended up agreeing that he did want to have a third baby and we were going to start trying. We were originally waiting for orders. I did mention that my husband's military. We were waiting for our orders to ETS before we started trying. However, we were supposed to get them a long time ago. We were supposed to get them around Christmas and they didn't end up coming until about a month ago. So finally, I think it was right around February, March, my husband, maybe it was April. Yeah, it was February or March. My husband was like, all right, go ahead, make an appointment and get your IUD taken out. Let's start trying. And we did. I got it taken out and I was pregnant that same cycle, which is, of course, a blessing. I've never had any issues getting pregnant. I get pregnant very quickly. All 3 times we've gotten pregnant like right away. So it was really exciting. We didn't think it was going to happen that quickly, but it did, and we ended up finding out I was pregnant the Sunday after Easter. So that's basically how that happened, all very quickly. And then I'm just going to go ahead and move into symptoms and kind of how I've been feeling throughout the first trimester. So very early on in my first trimester, I was feeling great. I didn't have any symptoms, nothing. It was very easy breezy until I hit about 7 weeks, and usually that's my rough spot. With both of my previous pregnancies, I felt really good until I hit about 6.5, 7 weeks, and that's kind of when all of a sudden it feels like I get hit by a freight train and like all these symptoms start to arise. That was the same thing with this pregnancy. This is my 3rd pregnancy, so I kind of know what to expect a little bit. Of course, every pregnancy has been different, but the main thing that ended up hitting me at 7 weeks was the exhaustion. I was so tired, and for like 2 weeks I barely got up off the couch. I couldn't function. I ended up calling my midwife and was like, I want to get some lab work done. I need to figure out what's going on because something's not right. Like, it was beyond normal exhaustion. And I was right. I ended up having no iron in my system. My iron count was 12. It's supposed to be around 170. And mine was 12, so I literally had no iron in me. She got me on the highest dose of iron pills. She ended up actually giving me like a prescription for a higher dose of prenatal that I've been taking as well, and that has worked wonders. It cured the problem right away, and I still get tired very easily, but I think that's more due to just normal pregnancy versus having no iron. So that was a huge symptom. Along with the fact that my iron was so low, I was cramping in my hands and in my feet, even in my calves and my forearms. It was so bad. It was so painful. I have a very high pain tolerance. I can handle a lot of discomfort, but it was to the point where I literally couldn't open my hands. I was like stuck like this, and my husband would have to like massage my hands to like get them to like open up and relax. I was dropping things constantly. It was just one of those things that was annoying. But once again, with the iron being back in my system, that has completely gone away. So I'm really grateful for that. That was honestly the hardest like 2 weeks ever. I was miserable. I felt like crap, but I feel a ton better now. And then I had a little bit of a scare right around 8-9 weeks. I started bleeding. I started having some spotting, and I'm not someone to panic or make I'm not someone to have a lot of anxiety, so I just called my midwife and told her what was going on. And of course, you know, she said just to watch it, to be careful, to try to stay off my feet, to try to hydrate, and of course if the bleeding continued or got worse, that I needed to go into the ER. The spotting lasted for about 2 days on and off, and I had an appointment like a day or two later, and I went in for that appointment, and my OB put me on what's called pelvic rest, which basically means no sex. And I had to have no sex for 2 weeks after my bleeding stopped. So that was super fun, but I'm happy to say that the bleeding ended up just being a little bit of spotting, which she said can be completely normal. I did not experience that in either one of my other pregnancies, so it was a little scary, but it turned out to be fine. Baby's good. I'm good. But I'm off pelvic rest now. My husband is very happy about that. That was a hard 2 weeks for him, but it was definitely worth it to make sure that baby was okay. So that was the only like really big scare that we had, was the bleeding at 8 or 9 weeks. It was definitely a little scary. We were both a little anxious about it, but everything ended up being a-okay, and baby is looking great. Another symptom I've been having is the fact that my sense of smell is superhuman. I have no other way to explain it. I smell things that other people can't smell. The biggest example I can tell you is my husband had a friend come over from work. He was using our printer, because we have a printer here. People like to come here and print stuff instead of having to go to the library and print stuff. So we have people from Joe's company all the time coming over here in the middle of the workday to print stuff, which is fine. But it was like 1300, or it was like 1 o'clock, and he was over here on lunch, and he walked in and I could smell a McGriddle on him. And like I asked him, did you have a McGriddle? He's like, yeah, at like 7:30 a.m. and it was 1 o'clock and I could still smell it on him. So my sense of smell is like up here, which is a really good thing and a really bad thing. Of course, with toddlers and changing diapers, things just smell way worse than they normally would. So that's been another huge thing, kind of going hand in hand with that. It has since subsided, but earlier in this trimester I had the nastiest taste in my mouth constantly, and I wasn't nauseous, but the taste in my mouth would make me nauseous, if that makes any sense. And it would make my breath smell horrid. Even my husband would be like, your breath stinks. And it's like I was constantly chewing gum, having mints, brushing my teeth, using mouthwash, because I just wanted to get the taste out of my mouth. It was unlike anything I have ever experienced before, but it's one of the symptoms I'm very happy that is gone, because it was so gross. Another thing that I've been noticing is the fact that we are moving halfway across the country in just a week, and there's a lot that goes on with that. We're of course cleaning, we're moving furniture, we're doing a ton of stuff. I'm on my feet literally all day, And of course, on top of that, I'm taking care of 2 toddlers, and life is just really crazy right now. And I noticed that I can't move as fast as I used to. I can't do as much as I used to. And I constantly feel dehydrated. No matter how much water I drink, I just feel dehydrated. I don't know how else to put it. I'm craving a ton of water, like ice, and I know that's probably just what my body needs, but I cannot get in enough. And I notice if I'm on my feet for too long, or maybe I'm doing too much heavy lifting or whatever, I will start to get a little crampy. It just feels like really light period cramps. And of course I brought that up to my midwife, and she said that it can be normal. I just need to pace myself, make sure I'm resting, and of course I'm drinking a lot of water. So things are taking a lot longer than they normally would, because I can only be on my feet for so long before I have to sit down and I need to rest. And my husband's been super understanding about that. He even will have to tell me sometimes, like, okay, you need, like, if he sees me kind of making a face or, you know, kind of holding my stomach for a second, he's like, okay, you need to go sit down, put your feet up, and he'll bring me a glass of water and he makes me rest. I've just been really blessed with him recently. He's been picking up so much slack for me, which is amazing. That's a big thing I've noticed. That's kind of the big thing that's hitting me right now later in my first trimester, early second trimester, which is crazy. But that's kind of the main thing I've been dealing with right now, is just kind of a little bit of cramping and making sure that I'm pacing myself, which is just normal, I feel like, in pregnancy, but stuff's gotta get done, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, that's kind of all I've been having for symptoms in this first trimester. I'm sure there's stuff that I'm forgetting, but it is what it is. Life is crazy right now, so some things are just kind of gone. But I want to know from you guys, do you guys want to see these videos weekly, bi-weekly? How do you want me to do them moving forward? Of course, now that I'm out of the first trimester, I feel a lot more comfortable doing these weekly, if that's what you guys would prefer. But of course, with us moving and waiting to get settled, because we're moving in with my mom until we figure out the whole house situation, because that's kind of up in the air with us right now, of course. If you do want to see these weekly, I probably won't have a pregnancy update for you next week. Maybe, maybe not, depending on how things go when we get back home. But I will be doing more pregnancy updates. I just want to know from you guys, do you want these weekly or bi-weekly? Either one of those are completely fine with me moving forward. Of course, I do want to say, I should have said this in the beginning for anyone who's new, but I do have 2 daughters. London is 3. She will be 4 in October. And I have Lakin, who is 1, which is also my daughter. She'll be 2 in September. Their birthdays are actually 8 days apart. So that is another thing I wanted to mention. I feel like the summer heat is really messing with me in the first trimester. Usually by this point in my pregnancy, I'm already about halfway through my second trimester. So being in my first trimester in the summer, it was really throwing me off, just because I was literally a week apart between my first pregnancy and my second pregnancy. So they felt identical to me. It felt like the same pregnancy, honestly, because they were back to back. And I was due almost the exact same time. Like, there was a huge possibility that Lakin could have been born right on London's birthday, which would have been insane. But they ended up being 8 days apart. So now having this third pregnancy and be due, I don't know, because London's birthday is October 7th. So to be due like October, November, December, January, to be due literally like 3 or 4 months later, it's like throwing me off. It feels very odd to me. So this will be my first pregnancy that I'm actually like huge or like really pregnant come fall time and even into winter. That's never happened to me before, so I just feel very very weird, very uncomfortable being pregnant at a different pace than I have been my last 2. So that's something I wanted to mention too. It just, everything feels like so weird to me. But it's also really nice, because usually, I think at this point, I'm usually like, I shouldn't say usually, but in my last 2 pregnancies, I was like 25 weeks with the girls by this point. So it also feels really nice not to be like uncomfortable in the summer heat. I think it'll be really nice come like July and August when it gets really, really hot, and I won't be like in my 3rd trimester in the heat, which sucks. But I'm excited for that, to just kind of not have to be super pregnant in the summer this time, so hopefully things won't be as hot. I really hope not, but I think that kind of sums up this first trimester update. I know this video is all over the place, but that's because my life is kind of all over the place right now, so I'm very scatterbrained in general right now, so I really apologize. I promise my other videos will be a lot more put together, a lot more laid back and kind of slower paced. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a belly shot. There's really not a whole lot to show. Usually I'm very fit, like I want to say that, like, but I just look very soft right now, like very bloated, very soft. My pants still fit, all my stuff still fits. I'm even still wearing belts on my pants. I haven't gained any weight thus far, so we will see where that goes come second trimester, but I'll go ahead and show you guys my 11-week and 5-day belly before we end up saying goodbye. So this is belly with the shirt down. You can't really tell, I just kind of maybe look like I had a big lunch, but I did just eat lunch. My husband brought me 2 Philly cheesesteaks, and we had fries and cheesesteaks, but this is with the shirt up, so we're just looking a little soft, a little round. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's at Cassie and Crew. You guys will be seeing a lot of updates, especially if you guys want to follow me on this moving journey. Make sure you follow me there. Insta stories, I Insta story a lot, so make sure you follow me over there. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow all the rest of my pregnancy. I'm so excited to share this with you guys, and of course I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Finding life along the way, melody